Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's episode. If you are joining us live, good morning. I hope you have your coffee and are ready to get into today's news. Now, as you may have seen from today's title and thumbnail, well, we didn't quite expect China, of all places, to be saying this about crypto. Now, I will get into that plus loads more in today's episode, so please make sure that you stick around for the whole video. Now, first things first, again, as always, we will jump into the prices of the top 10 in crypto in just a sec. First of all, if you haven't already joined our CC Pro Discord, there is a link in today's description. You can see it on your screen. Go click it, read more, find out why we are the kind of longest standing and most trustworthy kind of community in crypto at the moment. Again, I won't go into it too much. Click the link to find out much more. Now, the top 10 prices in crypto, let's have a look and see how things are looking. We currently have Bitcoin sitting at $26,360. We then have Ethereum at $1,610, BNB $213. We then have XRP just above 50 cents, Cardano at 24 cents, Dogecoin at 0.06, Solana at $19, and then finally Tron is currently at 0.08. Now, that is, like I said, top 10. There's not been that much. Again, I feel like I've been saying this the past month. There hasn't been that much change in the top 10, realistically, for about a month or so. So, yeah, no surprises there on some of today's prices. Nonetheless, we will crack on and cover the news because, yeah, there's loads to get through. You will have seen some news coming out the past 24 hours that I will probably be going to cover for you. So, yeah, let's jump into it. In fact, one of them just showed there. Did you see that before it changed? Let's see if it's still there. Yeah, Chase Bank banned crypto-linked payments in the UK. I'll jump into that in a little bit more detail very, very soon. So first things first, the SEC have pushed the deadline for the ARC21 shares spot Bitcoin ETF until January. Now, are we surprised? I'm not. I'm definitely not surprised, and neither should you. If you have been watching Coffee and Crypto for the past few months, then you'll know exactly my thoughts on the Bitcoin spot ETF kind of deadlines and set expectations and what I believe will happen with the Bitcoin ETF news. But for the purposes of anyone that hasn't potentially been tuning in to Coffee and Crypto the past few months, I'm going to cover this article and hopefully you can start to understand what's, and again, in my opinion, what's happening here with the ETF kind of stuff in crypto. So, the SEC, we all know them and love them or hate them, most people will hate them, is taking the maximum time allowed to the regulator to reach a decision for the spot Bitcoin ETF. Funny that, isn't it? Now, in September 26, which was obviously yesterday, the SEC said it would designate a longer period on whether to approve or disapprove the proposed rule change that would allow the ARC21 shares spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, this is just the news for one of the ETFs that were applied for, but this is going to happen to pretty much all of them, again, is what I strongly believe. Now, the Commission's previous delay on August 11th gave the regulator until November 11th to decide whether to approve, disapprove, or defer. So, obviously, they have deferred it again. Now, the Commission finds that it is appropriate to designate a longer period within which to issue an order approving or disapproving the proposed rule change so that it has sufficient time to consider the proposed rule change and the issues raised therein. Now, that's obviously said and quoted from the SEC. So the delay came the same day that the SEC deferred the decision on the Bitcoin ETF offering from Global X. So again, like I said, it's not only ARC21 that's been deferred. There's been another one, and I think there's actually been another one this morning as well. But yeah, there's going to be deferments on all of them. But yeah, look, you already knew that. Now, it's unclear why the Commission chose to designate longer periods to determine the fate of the spot Bitcoin ETF applications weeks ahead of their deadline. So, like I said, it was supposed to be 11th of November, but they have decided to do it now. But look, whether they've done it in November or whether they've done it today or yesterday, they were going to do it anyway. So, does it matter that they've done it ahead of schedule? No, it doesn't. Now, the regulator has usually waited until a few days before the deadline. Again, like I've just said, it doesn't matter when they delay it. It was going to happen anyway, so do we just wait and hold off for that news, or do we just get the news whenever, because it's the same outcome, so it doesn't really matter anyway. With the additional 60 days to consider the ARC21 shares offering, the SEC's final deadline will be January 10th, 240 days after the initial application was filed. So, look, like I said, this is stuff that I've been covering for months at this point. They are not going to approve or deny a Bitcoin ETF in 2023, in my opinion. It wouldn't make sense for me. Again, in my opinion, they will be doing it in the Q1 into Q2 of 2024. So yeah, let's come back. I mean, I'm going to be covering the news for the rest of the year anyway, so I will keep you up to date. But that's my kind of thoughts on the ETF stuff. There's another kind of tweet here I wanted to show you to say, again, you might have seen this on Twitter go around. It was posted kind of early this morning. Obviously it happened in the US, so time difference and whatnot. But yeah, ARK Invest's SEC, the SEC has postponed the ARK Invest Bitcoin ETF. Now, again, I won't dive into any more than that because, again, I've covered ETFs so much on this channel. If you are wanting more information on ETFs and my opinion on ETFs, other than what I've said, there is plenty of videos in the catalogue on our YouTube channel. Go check them out. You'll see them in the title of the videos. I highly suggest that you do that, just so you've got the kind of full story. But essentially, I strongly believe there will not be an approval nor a denial of a Bitcoin spot ETF in 2023. If we are to see either a yes or a no, we will see it in either early 2024, so this one is January 2024, but for the majority of them, it's around the March 2024 time. So yeah, I strongly believe that they will leave it to the very last minute before they do decide to approve or deny, and it will help gain a bit of, well, I guess, price potential to the upside or, again, downside, depending on what the news is kind of thought to be. Again, you'll start to see this play out depending on what the charts are showing us. Now, the charts are showing that we will or should have a fruitful next few months. However, that doesn't mean that they're then going to play the ETF stuff as a denial. What they tend to do will play on the heartstrings of the fact the markets are going up. There'll be a lot of hype around there'll be an approval. Again, that will help create a bit of kind of market or retail market hype, which will inevitably help drive the prices up. But then in the actual deadline, so January, February, March, whenever it actually does fall, you might start seeing a bit of speculation that it's going to be denied or not, it's going to be approved. And again, we're going to be in that limbo period, I believe, Q1 into early Q2 with ETFs. And again, it's all completely planned by the SEC. And, well, again, this is my opinion. It's all completely planned. It is just to manipulate, again, retail investors to get them in before either a dump or a pump. Either way, we will find out very, very soon. So please make sure you stay tuned to Coffee and Crypto throughout the weeks as we run up to the deadlines, of course. Anyway, moving away from ETF news then, we have the former White House official that will lead Ripple's policy and government arm. So this, again, big news from Ripple. I love to cover Ripple news on this channel. You all know that by now. So Lauren, I believe, a former official with the White House's Office of Legislative Affairs and Policy Director with the US House Committee on Rules, has joined the crypto firm Ripple. Now, she is now the head of the US Public Policy and Government. That's positive, in my opinion. Don't know about you. Now, in September 26, again, this was yesterday, the announcement on LinkedIn, they believe, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, or is it Believe? Unsure, said that she accepted she had accepted the policy position at Ripple to lead engagement in Washington, D.C. and across the US. She previously worked in a similar role with SoftBank Group, Zoom and Lyft following her experience in government. So yeah, she has the track record, which is exactly what we need to see. Now, with regulatory landscapes evolving, it's paramount that we advocate for policies that not only support the crypto industry, but also the countless individuals and businesses that could benefit from these advancements. Now, this is again quoted from Lauren Believe or Believe, or again, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but here's the quote here. I won't read the whole entire thing. I'll even just make it full screen for you. You can pause today's video and just read that in full detail. Again, this is massive for Ripple. Will it help the price of your XRP investment? Probably not, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to share the news with you and kind of keep you up to date with what's going on in the background of crypto, so that you know with your education where to base your knowledge source and how to learn as much as possible. So look, don't know how to help you with your price of XRP at this moment. The news is Ripple have now hired a very, very, very well educated and proven track record in the space. This woman here, Lauren Believe or whatever her surname is. Now, the addition of Believe, whoever it is, to Ripple came amid the firm's lawsuit with the US SEC. Again, though the case is ongoing, a judge in July ruled that the coin was largely not a security, with the impact rippling through the crypto space. I like how they've worded that there, rippling through the crypto space. So again, we all know the news that came out in July that the part of the lawsuit was essentially won or approved, and it was in favour of Ripple. I won't go into that because we know how exciting that was. Price did run up, but of course has retraced since then, which is fully expected. What do you expect? The market is in a bear market. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, look, like I said, this is, in my opinion, a massive point, or a massive bonus, or a massive positive outlook for Ripple, and I guess just what they're trying to put out in the future. Again, Ripple has been stuck in this lawsuit for 2.5 years. It has been really, really tough for people to, I guess, put their name beside Ripple because of the lawsuit. People, especially like this woman here, who obviously has got kind of previous history with the government, wouldn't want to put her name near Ripple if it was in a lawsuit with essentially a government body. So yeah, the positive news here is the lawsuit is sort of kind of taken care of as such, and now they're able to focus on the future and their plans and what they actually were trying to do from the get-go. Anyway, that's the Ripple news. Moving on to, what is today's title and thumbnail? Bitcoin gains legal recognition as a digital currency in Shanghai, China. Now, for anyone that has, of course, spent any time in crypto, especially the past kind of 5 years, you'll know that, Bitcoin and China haven't really seen eye to eye for as long as I can remember, but pretty much for as long as crypto has been about. It's never been a good place, I guess, for Bitcoin and China. Now, let me read this article in full detail, and then I'll give you a bit more kind of information on that. So, the Shanghai No. 2 Intermediate People's Court in China has reportedly recognized Bitcoin as a unique and non-replicable digital asset, while acknowledging its scarcity and inherent value. So, that paragraph alone is something I thought I would never say when being involved in crypto. But anyway, the Chinese court released the report on September 25th, discussing that the development of the internet technologies. The report stated that with the development of internet technology, digital currencies such as Bitcoin stand out as a unique and non-replicable. The report states that among a sea of digital currencies, Bitcoin is different and unique from other digital assets. Now, the report also sheds light on some of the unique properties of Bitcoin, including its scarcity and property attributes, Now, the report states that Bitcoin has key currency features such as scalability, ease of circulation, storage, and payment. Bitcoin continues to see global usage despite its decentralized nature and lack of central authority administration. So, again, who would have thought this paragraph, these words, would have been spoken about and came directly from China regarding crypto? I don't think anyone's seen any of this coming. It is, again, a shock, but is it a shock when, again, you maybe think a little bit deeper into it? Was it all just fear that China have been putting out all this time, waiting for their time to just kind of load up and just go all in on crypto? It's possible. It's possible. Now, the latest judicial report acknowledging Bitcoin and its attributes as an asset class gives Bitcoin and other digital currencies in China more legitimacy. Despite a blanket ban on cryptos in China, legal arguments for defining Bitcoins as personal property have gained a lot of traction from the local Chinese courts. Now, again, to give a bit more context on the China versus Bitcoin, or I guess China versus crypto. If you haven't been in crypto for a long period of time, and well, I say long period of time, meaning maybe 2-3 years, what we have seen year on year is a ban on crypto coming from the Chinese government. We have seen news, so public news in China, go out to the millions, if not billions of viewers to say that crypto can kill people. Bitcoin will kill you. If you're caught using it, investing in it, whatever it may be, you can be jailed. Like, there has been a massive, I guess, push from the Chinese government for years and years and years against the adoption and usage of crypto in the country. Now, again, many of you know that crypto is fairly unstoppable. Blockchain technology is fairly unstoppable on the most part, and it's a global technology that you can't really stop. Governments can't really stop it. Now, that's why it has continued to always exist in the Asian market and in the Chinese market. But again, China is its own entity, its own superpower. It does everything, I guess, what it wants. China is the superpower of the world, in my opinion. Obviously, you have Russia. You cannot count the US in this. The US is not a superpower. It once was at one point in its time, but it is no longer the superpower. And again, in my opinion, I do believe that China and Russia are the kind of powers. And well, it would only make sense for China to really go all in on crypto. And I mean, it's got the power to do that. It's got the technology to do that. It's got the kind of brain power. It's got the human power. It can put people on the ground and really make something of it. China essentially control the world in terms of they build pretty much everything that you will use in everyday life. Anything that I can see on this desk, I would say about 80% of it, if not 90% of it, is probably hand-built in China. It is the superpower, again, of the world, one of the most controlling and powerful countries where a lot of trade comes from. Why would they not want involved in crypto wholeheartedly? Again, like I said, the past few years have been a bit of the opposite. Well, so the media have made out to be. But in my personal opinion, I do believe that China will become one of the, if not the most powerful area, at least in Asia anyway, for cryptocurrency, whether that's mining, whatever it may be, usage of blockchain and crypto technologies. I do strongly believe, yes, they might create their own type, their own version, whatever it may be, but you can't really replicate or do exactly what Bitcoin's done. Many have tried. For example, that's why there's like 20,000 odd altcoins, which altcoin just means alternative coins, or an alternative to Bitcoin is normally what it's supposed to be, but no one has really done what Bitcoin has set out to do. It is the original, it is the creator, it is the grandfather of crypto. So yes, China might come out and do their own thing, that's fine. The point being is they will still be adopting blockchain and crypto technology after telling us that they will ban it and you will die, essentially. But yeah, anyway, that's hopefully brought you up to speed with the kind of what's happening or what's happened in China for the past kind of, well, I guess, almost 10 years in regards to crypto. But yeah, that's the big news that I wanted to cover today with kind of regards to Bitcoin and crypto in China. We'll keep monitoring this and see how things go. But anyway, let's move on to the next part of today's news. Now, the next part is a tweet from Brian Armstrong. You all know who that is. It is the CEO and founder of Coinbase. Now, I don't know if any of you are watching this, or if you are watching this from the UK, if you bank with Chase. So Chase is obviously quite a recent kind of challenger type of bank in the UK. It's a huge company in America. We all know that. But they recently kind of came out and came onto the UK market with the Chase UK bank. Now, I'll read the tweet here and then I'll dive into the actual image and tweet from Chase below. So, he says, totally inappropriate behaviour from Chase UK. Rishi Sunak, obviously the Prime Minister of the UK. It appears that Chase UK does not respect your policy goals. Now, UK crypto holders should close their Chase accounts if this is how they're going to be treated. So, let me just talk you through exactly what is in question here. So, I will just load this picture up. So, this is what has been sent out to UK Chase customers. If you are a UK Chase bank customer, let me know. Drop me a comment below. I'm interested to see how many of you use Chase. If you don't use Chase actually at this point, let me know what bank do you use currently if you are based in the UK that is crypto friendly. And what I mean by that is, do they allow you to deposit and withdraw from Binance, SwissBorg, BYBIT, BitGet, whoever it is that you use as an exchange? What bank have you been using to, allow and facilitate that? Anyway, here's what has been said then. So, Chase, our policy around crypto is changing, and here's what it means for you. So, the main point to highlight here is this box here, but this one here is interesting as well because it says, to help keep your money safe from fraud and scams, we're changing the types of payments you can make from Chase. Now, that sounds like an all so familiar line. It's a very much copy and paste job from, literally every other bank that we have seen across the globe. We're trying to keep your money safe and protect you. We don't think that's what you're trying to do here, Chase. Anyway, the point here, which is circled in red, it says from 16th of October 2023, which is obviously in about 3 weeks' time, if we think you're making a payment related to crypto assets, we'll decline it. If you'd still like to invest in crypto assets, you can try using a different bank or provider instead. But please be cautious, as you may not be able to get the money back if the payment ends up being related to a fraud or a scam. So, how intense and insane is that? The point blankly will just say, look, if we think that it's crypto related, we're going to decline it. If you still want to kind of potentially make that deposit, you're better off looking for another bank because we're not doing it. How brainwashed and insane is that? Now, what's my opinion on it? What's my thoughts? Why do I think this is happening? Well, I'm glad you asked, for anyone that did ask. So, my opinion, again, I've covered this a few times with kind of how banks work. My history is finance and banking, so I feel like I'm in a good position to give an opinion on this. So with especially Chase, for example, like I've just mentioned a few minutes ago, they are fairly new in the UK. They're only about a year, if not 2 years old. I think they're less than that actually. They're a fairly new bank in the UK. Yes, they're a very well established bank in the US, but this is not the same US bank. This is almost like a sister company or a wing of Chase. So this is Chase UK, completely different to Chase US. So they have, like I said, just come onto the scene in the UK. And, when you just come on the scene and you need to be regulated by the FCA, which is obviously the Financial Conduct Authority, which is the UK's governing body for finance and money in the UK, you're not going to want to kind of wind them up or what's the word I'm looking for? Rub them up the wrong way. Because, if you're a new bank to the UK, you're trying to be established, you're trying to grow growth, and you're trying to gain more customers and more acquisition of customers, then you're going to follow what the FCA are advising. You're not going to be the one that goes against what the FCA are advising because, that's not a good look for a new bank in a country that's trying to gain the reputable brand that the FCA can help it with. Now, we've seen this many, many times the past 2 years with other banks in the UK. Santander, NatWest, RBS. Well, I guess RBS is owned by NatWest, so it's much the same. To name a few, I do believe that Lloyds was also the same as well. But the point I'm making here is most banks in the UK are not banning crypto because that's what they want. They are advising the ban as such, or declining the payments, because the FCA have advised that banks do that, or at least banks question it until there's regulation. So again, like I've said, that's why you're still seeing many banks in the UK still allow for you to make these transactions in and out, no questions asked, unless you're making crazy transactions that maybe your bank account's not used to. Again, what that means is, say for example, you have banked with your bank for 15 years, whatever it is. You've been getting your salary paid in there every month. Maybe it's 1,500, 2 grand, 3 grand a month, whatever it is that you make from your job each month. That's what's going in. You've got your mortgage to pay, you've got your bills to pay. It's just a normal, regular acting account. If you start withdrawing 10, 20, 30, 50 grand even from a crypto exchange, and there's large inflows of money to that bank account that, yes, you've had for 15 years and you're classed as loyal, or you believe that you are a loyal customer. By the way, that means nothing. Don't ever think that just because you've spent 15 years with a bank that they are loyal to you and they thank you for your loyalty. Trust me when I say that. They do not care. They will close your account down in an instant, regardless of how long or how much money you have held with that bank, or how many mortgages or how many loans or how many. They don't care about that. They care about how the FCA will look if they are investigated for anti-money laundering, or if you have large transactions going into your account that your account is not used to seeing, and you can't answer why. Your bank will close your account. Again, trust me. One, I have the experience. I've been in finance. Well, I was previous to being in crypto in finance for almost 9 years. I know the game. I know how the fraud team works. It's not a manual kind of, right, hang on a minute. He's got this much money. Let's flag this. It will be an automatic flag. So you'll have a set point system, a set scoring system on your accounts. If you are receiving, like I said, loads of money at one point and it's a bit strange, it's not normal for your accounts, then it will automatically be flagged to the fraud team, which means that your account tends to be either frozen, or you'll be asked to contact the bank, or whatever it may be. The reason for that is it could just be, look, I've received 20 grand from a grandparent, a friend, whatever. That's fine. You can answer for that. But if it's been seen to come from crypto exchanges, which obviously, like I said, the FCA are not entirely a fan of, therefore banks need to kind of follow suit, they will obviously flag that. And to save them any issues in the future, any question marks from the FCA, the bank will, yes, freeze your account, investigate your account, but inevitably will probably close your account down, no matter how long you have served with that bank. All right, that was a bit of a rant, but like I said, I have seen it all too many times in the past with my personal experiences, friends, family, clients of ours. Banks, again, it's not directly the bank's issue, and I'm not sticking up for banks here. I'm not taking anyone's side whatsoever. I'm just trying to kind of give you the facts. The FCA control and decide what happens, essentially. So banks just need to follow suit, and that's that. Anyway, enough of that rant. Hopefully that helps a little bit and makes a bit more sense with how banks, work in the UK and what to expect from banks in the UK as well. Because, like I said, it's not so much the bank's fault. You have to blame the FCA at this point for how they behave and how they act with these big banks. So, a few other things to cover off then. We have, this one was quite funny. So, SBF has been apparently called a saviour by the Wall Street Journal. So, yeah, very, very interesting. But here it is here then. So the Wall Street Journal called SBF a saviour. Now, I think my Wi-Fi is playing up, so apologies. Hopefully you can still hear and see exactly what I'm talking about, I guess. This is taking forever. Apologies. If not, if it doesn't load, I will of course upload the video to YouTube directly after today's stream. We won't let the Wi-Fi get the better of us. We will continue on our journey if it allows. Is it going to allow me? I don't think it is. What we'll do is we'll jump straight to the next article that I wanted to cover. So I feel like this is a very, very, very accurate image that I want to show you regarding me before trading crypto and, well, me after trading crypto. This is obviously a bit of a joke. We have experienced a very, very long downturn and bear market. I do feel like this is how most people probably feel, if not look, at this stage in crypto. But yeah, look, we're coming back better than ever. Have no fear. I truly believe that we will regain our looks and we will get back to looking a lot better and feeling a lot better than we do at the moment. So that is where I'll finish up today's video. Again, if you were watching the live stream today, I do believe it did cut off halfway through, so apologies if anyone was watching it live. The Wi-Fi is very well known not to behave very well in this office, but anyway, that's besides the point. The content in today's video was super, super important, so I will make sure that I will upload this to the YouTube channel. Please make sure that you do like it, subscribe of course to the channel if you haven't already, and please share today's video. I do feel like it was an important one. There was a lot of important parts covered in regards to banking in the UK, which again is a massive point which I believe if you are from the UK, you should understand. And yeah, like I said, share it with someone who needs to see this regarding UK banks and, well, just crypto in general. There was loads covered in today's stream and video. So yeah, drop me a like, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts on today's video, and I will see you all for the next episode of Coffee and Crypto. If there's anything else you do need from us, of course there is links in today's description that you can get more information from. Okay, perfect. Well, have a great day, a great afternoon, great evening, whatever time you are viewing this. I will see you all very, very soon. See ya.